All right, paws on the table, ears up. Humans Detective Rex reporting for duty. And trust me, today's case is a juicy one. Forget jewel heists, forget mob bosses, forget the squirrel gang that keeps raiding my precinct's trash cans, because today we're sniffing out something far more slippery. Your rights. Yes, your precious, shiny, freedom-flavored rights. The problem? A lot of folks think they know their rights. But what they really know is the legal equivalent of, my cousin's roommate told me so at a barbecue. And let me tell you, nothing says bad day like trying to quote Facebook law to an actual cop. Spoiler alert, it never ends well. So today we're digging into the most misunderstood rights in America. And believe me, I've seen these rights get twisted, flipped, microwaved, and served cold like a leftover meatloaf. So buckle up, chew on a bone, or grab some popcorn because I'm about to break down the myths from the reality. And we'll do it Rex style. Sharp teeth, sharper wit. Let's start with the First Amendment. Oh boy, this one's a chew toy that humans just love to gnaw on until there's nothing left but fluff. The First Amendment guarantees freedom of speech, right? Which in human translation seems to mean I can say anything I want, anytime I want, and no one can stop me. Wrong. That's like me saying, I can bark at 3 a.m. nonstop and the neighbors just have to deal with it. Nope. The First Amendment protects you from the government censoring your speech. It doesn't mean your boss can't fire you for calling him a discount potato with legs on Twitter. It doesn't mean a private company has to let you rant in their lobby about lizard people. And it definitely doesn't mean you can scream fire in a crowded movie theater and call it free speech. Well, you can, but then you'll be free to explain it to a judge. Next up, I know my rights. You can't arrest me if I don't show ID. Oh, sweet puppy biscuits. This one pops up all the time in viral sovereign citizen videos. Here's the truth. Whether you have to show ID depends on where you are. Some states have stop and identify laws, which means if a cop reasonably suspects you're up to no good, they can ask who you are. If you refuse, congratulations. You just earned yourself a longer conversation, possibly in handcuffs. And no, barking I'm a free citizen of the Republic of Me is not a legal defense. It's just weird. And while we're here, let's clear up another classic. I have the right to remain silent, so I just won't say anything ever. Look, I love silence except when it's squirrel hour, but here's the kicker. Miranda rights only kick in once you're under arrest and being interrogated. If you're just chatting with an officer on the street, you can walk away. But if you're detained, saying nothing without clearly invoking your right to remain silent might actually make things worse. And no, humming loudly doesn't count as remaining silent. Nice try, though. Now let's sniff around the Fourth Amendment. You can't search my car without a warrant. That's kind of true, but also kind of not. Police usually need probable cause to search your vehicle. If they see a bag of suspicious green leaves on the passenger seat labeled, "Not drugs," yeah, that's probably enough. And if you give consent, game over. I've seen people hand over their car keys and then act surprised when cops find the emergency party favors in the glove box. Newsflash. If you say yes, you've basically invited us to sniff through your stuff like it's a picnic basket. Oh, and my personal favorite misunderstanding. I pay taxes, so cops work for me. I don't have to listen to them. Ha! Buddy, if that logic worked, then because I wear a badge, every squirrel in the city would have to follow my orders. Spoiler, they don't. The law doesn't work like a pizza delivery subscription. You don't get to pick and choose services because you paid for them. Nice trying, though. By now, you're probably thinking, wow, Rex, humans really don't know their own rights. And you'd be right. But don't feel bad. The law is complicated. And a lot of myths spread faster than I can chase a tennis ball. Stick around, because in the second half, we're going to dig even deeper, and trust me, these next misunderstood rights are even messier. Think of it as the extra cheesy part of the legal pizza. And you know me, Detective Rex always saves the best bites for last. Welcome back, humans. Detective Rex here, tail wagging, badge shining, and ready to bust some more myths wide open. If part 1 was like a friendly warning nip, part 2 is the full bite. Don't worry, it's not rabid, it's just reality. And reality can sting harder than a flea bath. Let's start with a big one, the Second Amendment. Oh boy, I can already hear the comment section loading. Look, here's the deal. The right to bear arms exists, yes, but it's not unlimited. Courts have consistently ruled that regulations like background checks, bans on certain weapons, and restrictions for felons are constitutional. Owning a bazooka because it's my right is like me insisting on carrying around a giant chew toy the size of a car. Just because I want it doesn't mean society has to let me. And please, for the love of bacon, don't try to argue with a TSA agent that your emotional support rocket launcher is covered by the Second Amendment. That's not how it works, champ. Now let's chase our tails over to the Fifth Amendment. You've heard this one. I plead the Fifth. It's iconic from mob movies to sitcoms. But here's what most people get wrong. Pleading the Fifth doesn't mean you can just refuse to participate in life. It specifically protects you from being forced to incriminate yourself in a criminal case. So no, you can't use it to dodge awkward questions at Thanksgiving dinner and yelling, I plead the Fifth, when your boss asks why you're late is just going to get you fired, not protected. Another right that people love to misquote, the Sixth Amendment. It gives you the right to an attorney and a speedy trial. Sounds great, right? But speedy doesn't mean tomorrow morning. It means reasonable. And reasonable, in court time, is somewhere between waiting for your pizza delivery and waiting for me to finally catch that one squirrel who mocks me every Tuesday. It's not instant. And if you can't afford an attorney, yes, one will be provided. But don't expect Perry Mason. You might just get someone juggling 200 cases at once. Then there's the good old Eighth Amendment, protection against cruel and unusual punishment. This one gets dragged out all the time. People think it means any punishment I don't like. Sorry, champ, that parking fine isn't cruel and unusual, it's just annoying. True cruel and unusual punishment would be like forcing you to watch reruns of bad reality TV while eating soggy cereal for life. Court set a pretty high bar for what counts. And no, being grounded as a teenager didn't violate your constitutional rights. One more for the road, the Ninth and 10th Amendments. These are the forgotten rights, but every now and then someone tries to play lawyer with them. The Ninth basically says, just because a right isn't listed doesn't mean you don't have it. And the 10th says, powers not given to the feds belong to the states or the people. In plain English, they're like the miscellaneous drawer in your kitchen, useful, but not a magical portal to unlimited powers. You can't just yell, Ninth Amendment, like it's a get-out-of-jail-free card. Trust me, I've seen people try. It never ends well. Now let's pull this all together. Here's the real kicker. Knowing your rights is important, but knowing them accurately is even more important, because nothing makes a cop's ears perk up faster than someone confidently barking the wrong law. And nothing makes a judge roll their eyes harder than someone trying to outsmart the Constitution with Google search results. Rights are real. They matter. But they come with limits, responsibilities, and a whole lot of nuance. So what's the takeaway? Simple. Don't just learn your rights from TikTok reality TV, or your Uncle Jerry who once got a speeding ticket and now thinks he's a constitutional scholar. If you want to flex your freedoms, actually understand them. That way, when the day comes that you need them, you'll know what to bark and what to keep zipped. And that, my friends, is the case of the most misunderstood rights in America, cracked wide open by yours truly, Detective Rex. Remember, freedom isn't just about shouting louder than the other guy. It's about knowing when to bark, when to listen, and when to just sit quietly and let your lawyer do the talking. Case closed. For now. Because trust me, there are way more myths out there waiting to be sniffed out. So don't wander too far. Next time we might just tackle the weirdest laws. Humans still live under the kind of laws that make even a police dog tilt his head and say, "Wait, humans did what?" Until then, keep your noses clean, your tails wagging, and remember, ignorance of the law is no excuse, but it does make for some hilarious YouTube videos.